See here, so edit x-axis, I will write here a quantity demanded. So in the x-axis, I put quantity demanded. So I need to put the price of tomatoes. Let me check if there is a problem. Always, do you hear me well?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. Okay. So, do you know, according to my experience, if the price, if the price per kilo of tomatoes 8 dirhams, my family used to buy 4 kilos. So I will put a dot, see here, a dot at 8 dirhams. I will buy 8 kilos. So I put one dot. I put one dot. So at a price of 8 dirhams per kilo, my family will purchase 4 kilos. Assume the price decreases to 6. At 6 dirham, we used to buy 6 kilos. We used to buy 6 kilos. So I will plot a dot. So here we have another dot. So again, at a price of 8 dirhams, my family used to buy 4 kilos per week. If the price decreases to 6 dirhams, we would like to buy 6 kilos of tomatoes per week. How to draw a demand curve? Simply connect between two dots. Connect between two dots. So I see here, I connect two dots. I connect two dots. So this is a demand curve. This is a demand curve. So it slopes downward as the price decreases, the quantity demanded increases, or there will be a movement along the demand curve. Also, you can draw a curve. You can draw a curve. You can draw a curve. It is technology. It is technology. It is technology. So I will try to fix it manually. Okay. So this is a demand curve, which is a curve, not a linear line or a line or linear equation. It is a curve. So this is also represents a negative relationship between quantity demanded and its price. Hopefully you can practice by your own. Okay, so we reached here. So this is just an example. Hopefully you can access my lab. There is a nice explanation for this graph. So what we are talking right now about Salim's demand curve, an individual demand curve for a single product. Salim's demand curve for telecommunication services or for tomatoes. So an individual demand curve for a single product. So the quantity demanded depends on its price. Ceteris paribus, assume that other factors remain constant. So accordingly, we can derive something called law of demand. Law of demand, قانون الطلب. Mira, safe?
Yes,
Mira,
doctor.
read the law of demand.
Law of demand, the negative relationship between price and quantity demanded. As the price rise, quantity demanded decrease. As the price falls, quantity demand increases.
Okay, so as we explain here, the law of demand states a negative relationship, opposite relationship between quantity demanded and its price for a single product. As the price increases, quantity demanded decreases. As the price decreases, quantity demanded increases. Ceteris paribus. Assume that other factors remain constant. And that's logic. That's logic. So if the price of orange increases, I will buy less orange because I will look at banana, even there is no change in the price of banana, I will look at it cheaper. So I will buy more banana and less orange. So it is logic. And we have other constraints why we buy less. And see here, if you look at the curve intersects both axes. So why the curve? So if the price becomes 15 dirhams, I will buy 0. Why? Because of limited income and wealth. Do you know, money is costly. I don't have millions of dirhams. So at a certain price, I will stop buying from this product. I will find some other alternatives. So if the price per kilo of tomatoes becomes 50 dirhams, I will never buy tomatoes. I will buy maybe tomatoes paste, a can of tomatoes paste. So why? Because of limited income and wealth. And see another case. If the price 0, if the product is free, just for imagination, if the price is 0, why Salim bought only, or why Salim takes only 30 kilos? Because of the limited of time, because I can wait for next week and take another 30 kilos for free. Otherwise, I have to buy refrigerator and it costs more money. I have to buy another refrigerator. And if I eat more tomatoes, so much tomatoes, I will be sick. For this reason, demand curve intersects both axes, price axis and quantity axis, because of limitation in income and time. This is a summary of what I explained right now. There are other determinants of demand, other determinants of household demand. So what I said, if the market price 5 dirhams, Salim will buy 5 kilos of tomatoes per week. Why 5 kilos? Why at 5? Insaf will buy 7, Mira will buy 10. Even the price is the same, because the effect of other factors. Let's see what's the meaning of other factors. If you remember the slide read by Rashid al-Naqbi, income, wealth, prices of related goods, preferences, and the last one, expectation. Let's go through them. So Mira, safe income.
Income and wealth. Income, the sum of all households, wages, salaries, profits, insert payment, rents, and other forms of earning in a given period of time. It's the flow of Menshur.
Okay, so since Salim works for Skyline, I receive a salary. So Mira Zar'uni invests her money in financial markets, so she got to profit. Mira also lent Uwais through a bank, so she got interest. Insaf is a landlord. She rent her land to Awais. She got rent. So all these forms of income. We use our income to purchase goods and services. So income, it is a flow measure. So that means in the end of each month, I receive 10,000 dirhams. Mira Saif.
Wealth or net worth. The total value what a household owns, minus and minus what it owns in a stock of mention.
Owns and owes. Okay. So see here, since I have a salary, I manage to save a little money every month. So at the moment, my wealth equals to 1 million dirhams. 1 million dirhams. Unfortunately, Rashid Al-Hosni lent me 20 dirhams. So I owe him 20 dirhams. I have to return him 20 dirhams. So my net worth equals 1 million minus 20 dirhams. It is a stock measure. Why it is a stock measure? So at this moment, I have around 1 million dirhams. Not each month I will receive 1 million dirham. So differentiate between flow measure and stock measure. So let me go to Rashid Al-Hosni. راشد الحسني.
Yes, doctor.
السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام يا مرحبا.
كيف حالك؟
الحمد لله دكتور طيب.
الحمد لله، عساك طيب يا رجال. راشد النخبي صاير اشطر من عندك. لا تخليه يغلبك.
لا اول كلاس لي هذا استاذ.
اي لا تخليه يغلبك، يعني نافسه يا ريال.
لا ان شاء الله ما عليك ما عليك.
اوكي ان شاء الله خير. normal goods.
اقرا يعني.
Yes.
Normal goods for which demand goes up when income is higher and for which demand goes down when income is lower.
Okay, so most goods are considered as normal. For example, perfume. Most goods are normal. So if my salary increases, I may buy more. I may buy more because I have more money. So as income increases, demand will increase for perfume. If income decreases, I will purchase less perfume. So there is positive relationship between income and demand for a single product. Is it clear? I think at this moment, at least, it's clear. So again, there is positive relationship. As income increases, demand for perfume will increase. As income decreases, demand for perfume will decrease. But the problem is when another group of goods, it's called inferior goods. What's the meaning of inferior goods? السلع الرديئة. الحوسني.
Inferior goods for which demand tends to fall when income rises.
Okay, see here what I mean by inferior goods. It's not really inferior. It's not really low quality. It's not really low quality. It's not really bad goods. But see here, at this range of my salary, I consider Salim only. Salim considers bread as inferior good. What I mean by inferior good? See here, if my salary increases, I will buy less bread. If my salary increases, I will buy less bread. Why? Because at upper level of my income, I can afford buying fruit, meat, cake, chocolate, biscuits, etc. So I will consume less bread. I will consume less bread. So assume Rashid Al-Hosani invited me for seafood restaurant in 5-star hotel. So when I went there, it was amazing. There is a starter with different kind of soups, salads, the main dish with lots of kind of seafood in different recipe, in different style. And in the end, there is a section for sweet. And last point, Ali. Al-Hosni, do you know Ali? Do you like Ali?
Yes, doctor.
Do you love Ali?
Of course.
Well, me too. Me too. Okay. So in this, just for imagination, in this seafood restaurant, do you think I will consume bread as usual or less? Do you think I will eat bread only one item? I'm talking about bread. Do you think I will eat more or less bread in the restaurant? I will eat more or less bread?
More, doctor.
I will definitely consume less bread. So I will take a small piece of bread. Why? Because I have other options. I have lots of options. So I will consume less bread because I have variety of food. So see, for this reason, if my income increase, I will buy less bread. If my income decreases, I will depend totally on bread because I cannot buy variety of food. So demand for bread will increase. Do you know, I remember one day, it was in the beginning of 1990s, and Iraq was under blockage. We were not allowed to export oil. So the country becomes so poor. So one day, one of my friends told me he used to eat 7 pieces of bread per night. So I felt totally strange how you could manage to eat 7 pieces of bread. So just when I read Inferior Goods, I understood he was totally poor and he consumed only bread. But my situation was a bit better than him. So I consume bread with something else. So I cannot depend totally on bread. So assume Khalid is a student. So when he was a student, he used to depend on or consume Indomie. Assume now he graduated and he got a good position. So he hates looking at Indomie. Why? Because he can consume other options of nice food. So as income increases, demand for Indomie decreases. So always at your level of income, some goods considered to be inferior. So when your income increases, your demand for this product may decrease. So decrease maybe a little bit. So if my income increased by 50%, demand for bread may decrease by 10%, but demand will not increase for such a product. If demand increased along with the increase of my income, in this case, this product is called normal. So I'm talking about Salim. If my salary increased, demand for perfume will increase, but demand for bread will decrease. So perfume is a normal good, bread for this range of income for a customer called Salim is called inferior. For Khalid, most goods are normal, but Indomie is inferior. Also, there is an effect of prices of other goods. So we have, think about two goods, whether they are substitutes or complements. Khalid, are you with me? Khalid is not with me. عالية المهيري.
نعم دكتور.
عالية المهيري، كيف حالك؟
بخير.
عساك بخير دوم إن شاء الله. Could you read substitutes?
Yes, goods that can serve as replacements for one another. When the price of one increases, demand for the other goes up.
Okay, so do you know, Salim likes to drink a cup of tea or coffee. So tea and coffee are substitutes. So tea and coffee are substitutes. They are equal to me. They are equal to me. So assume now the price of coffee increases while the price of tea unchanged. So again, if the price of coffee increases, do you think I'm going to buy more or less tea?
More tea.
What's your name?
OS.
Okay, so Awais is a student, so it's expected to answer correctly. So if the price of coffee increases, I will buy less coffee, but more tea. So demand for tea will increase. So see here the effect of price of coffee on demand for tea. So again, if the price of coffee increases, demand for tea will increase. So the relationship is positive. If the coffee becomes expensive, demand for tea will increase because it looks cheaper. So the relationship between the price of coffee and demand for tea is positive. They move in the same direction. Please be able to answer. Let me change the question. If the price of coffee decreases, if the price of coffee decreases, do you think you will buy more or less tea?
Less tea because coffee is cheaper now.
So, as always said, if the price of coffee decreases, I will buy more coffee but less tea. So a decrease in the price of coffee leads to a decrease in demand for tea. Some goods are perfect substitutes. They are identical. For example, for a customer such as Maythe, Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola, they are perfect substitutes. They are totally equal. They are copy-paste. So if the price of Coca-Cola increased by 1 fifth, demand for Pepsi-Cola will increase. They will automatically. She will shift to another substitute. Let's talk about complements with Alia.
دكتور شو أقرأ؟
Complements.
Okay. Goods that go together, a decrease in the price of one results in an increase in demand for the other and vice
versa. Okay, so as Alia said, see here, tea and sugar are complements. For a customer such as Salim, I cannot drink tea without a little sugar. So tea and sugar are complements. What will happen to demand for tea if the price of sugar decreases? What will happen to demand for tea if the price of sugar decreases?
There will be more demand for tea because they go together.
Well done. So if the price of sugar decreases, I will buy more sugar and more tea. So as the price of sugar decreases, demand for tea will increase. Let's take another case. Assume now the price of sugar increases. What will happen to demand for tea? If the price of sugar increases, do you think you are going to buy more or less tea?
Less tea? Maybe.
What's your name?
Insaf.
Insaf. So if the price of sugar increases, I will buy less sugar and less tea. So the price of sugar increases, demand for tea will decrease. So they move in opposite direction. For substitutes, they move in the same direction, but for complements, they move in opposite direction. So again, if the price of sugar decreases, demand for tea will increase. So see here, there is opposite relationship. The price of sugar decreases, we will buy more sugar and more tea. So the demand for tea will increase. So the relationship is negative, opposite. So try to understand the logic behind these statements, not to memorize them. So I will give Uwais A, and why I will give Ansaf B plus, because she said maybe. So A and B plus are booked to Uwais and Insaf. And I'm waiting for other students to participate to give them marks. But if you don't participate, how can I give you marks? Okay, so in the same way, we can talk about tastes and preferences. Assume Maryam Noor on LBC said if you eat more fresh tomatoes, your skin will be nice. So that will affect me to love tomatoes so much. So I will buy more tomatoes. Demand for tomatoes will increase. Assume Maryam Noor, she's an environmental activist, said if you eat red meat more frequently, you will get heart attack. So that will affect you to buy less red meat. So demand for red meat will decrease. So tastes and preferences also affect demand. Expectations. Let's talk about expectations. So assume I expect my salary will increase next month. So from today, I will make a party. I will start to spend more. So demand for a single product will increase because I expect my salary will increase in the future. But if I expect I will get fired in the end of the year, so from today, I will spend less, I will save more. So demand will decrease. So expectation will affect my behavior. So this slide is the most important slide in the whole story of microeconomics. So I said chapter 3 is important, demand section is important, and this slide is important. So if you understand this slide, microeconomics will be easy. Microeconomics will be easy. I promise you that you will pass microeconomics so easily with high grade. So do you know, you need to understand this slide. Hopefully, if you don't understand, ask me to repeat. Ask me to repeat. I think there is nothing to be read in this slide. So what this slide talk about a change in quantity demanded and a change in demand. A change in quantity demanded is also called a movement along a demand curve. A change in demand is also called a shift of the entire demand curve. So I will explain. So for a moment, ignore light blue curve. Ignore light blue curve. Concentrate on dark blue, which we already explained it. So ignore the last column. So what I said, if the price per call is 0, I will call mom 30 times. As the price increases, quantity demanded decreases. If the price jump to 15, I will call my mom 0. Upload the data from first and second columns, load them on a graph, connect between dots, you will get a demand curve. So assume my salary is $300 per month, $300 per month. So if you ask me if the price 0, if the price 7, if the price 15, and this is my answers. And we got this curve, assume that my salary is 300. So again, if the price decreases, quantity demanded increases from 1 to 3. If you look at these two dots, as the price increases from 7 to 10, the quantity demanded will decrease from 3 to 1. Ceteris paribus. Assume other factors such as income remain constant. So we explained this. So this is called, if there is a change in the price, there will be a change in quantity demanded or a movement along the demand curve. Ceteris paribus, assume that other factors remain constant. Full stop. A new paragraph. Breathe well. Try to get this new idea. Suddenly, my salary doubled from $300 to $600 per month. So again, if you ask me at the price of $350, how many times you will call your mom? I will not say 7, I will say 18. Why? Because I become richer. I can afford somehow 350. As the price increases to $10 per call, I will not call my mom once as $300 per month. I will call my mom 7 times because I become richer. But still, even my salary $600 per month, there is a negative relationship between quantity demanded and its price. So I hate the increase in prices. As a price increases, the quantity demanded will decrease. Let's talk about, for example, at $10. So if the price $10 per call, with my old salary, I used to call my mom once a month. But with the new salary, I will call my mom 7 times because I become richer. My salary is bigger. So as the salary, as the price per call decreases, with the old salary, the quantity demanded will increase from 1 to 3, this dot. But with the new salary, the quantity at $7, the quantity demanded will increase to 12 from 7 to 12, from 7 to 12. So what is the conclusion now? As income increases, from $300 per month to $600 per month, demand will increase. Demand curve will shift to the right. Demand curve will shift to the right. We can make another analysis. Assume my salary now 600. This is my demand curve, the light blue. And again, my salary decreased to 300. So I will say demand will decrease, demand curve will shift to the left. Is it clear till this moment? Do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
It's clear. Rashid Naqbi, how are you?
I'm fine, sir.
You are fine. You are still with me.
Yes.
I thought you ran away.
I'm just exhausted from a long day of work.
Oh, hopefully just relax and
Enjoy the class.
enjoy the class. Enjoy the
Yes.
class. In the end, we will give you a certificate of bachelor degree if
Thank
you
you, sir.
enjoy. Okay. So see here, differentiate between a change in quantity demanded, which is a movement along the demand curve, and it occurs if the price of the product itself changed. So again, if the price of tomatoes changed, that will lead to a change in quantity demanded or a movement along the demand curve. But if there is a change in one of other variables, such as income, preferences, prices of other goods, expectation, wealth, one of them, that will lead to a change in demand, or the entire demand curve will shift to the right or to the left. So see here, we are at this dot. If there is a change in the price, there will be a change in quantity demanded or a movement along the demand curve. But if there is a change in income, the entire demand curve will shift to the right or to the left. It is called a change in demand. Hopefully you got this slide. And this is more practical information. There is more practical information. So this dark blue curve, let me come, this is easier. This dark blue curve is a demand curve for normal good. What happened? Assume my income rises. So if income rises, demand for normal good will increase, as we explained. Demand curve will shift to the right. Another example. This is our initial demand curve. This demand curve for inferior good. As income rises, demand will decrease. Demand curve will shift to the left. So my salary increase, I will buy more perfume, I will buy less bread. Okay. Another example, this demand curve for meat hamburger. Assume the price per piece of hamburger increases. The price of hamburger increases. Since the price in question increase, there will be a decrease in quantity demanded or a movement along demand curve. So if the price of meat hamburger increases, what will be the effect on demand for substitute goods such as chicken? So if the price of meat increases, I will buy less meat or less hamburger, but more chicken. So demand for chicken will increase. Demand for chicken will increase because it looks cheaper. See here, hamburger and ketchup are complements. Hamburger and ketchup are complements. If the price of hamburger increases, I will buy less hamburger and less ketchup. So demand for ketchup will decrease. So hopefully you understood the movement and the shift of curves, how curves shift to the right and to the left. If you don't have a question, we came here to this point, which is called market demand curve. Market